Hello. This is one of the reflections we're trying to bring to you on radical hospitality. And I think we've defined already what hospitality is. Love of the stranger. That's what it means to be radically hospitable, to love the stranger. And it seems to me that hospitality then calls us to act, if you like, in a certain way towards the stranger. Okay? Because if hospitality means love of the stranger, then love is an action word. It's more than just a feeling. Okay? So you got to act toward the stranger in a certain way and not just, have sentimental feelings. Well, I feel love towards strangers, or I have strangers who are my friends. No, you got to act towards them in a certain way. Throughout the whole biblical tradition, right? Old Testament, New Testament, we find this again and again and again. And it's even stirred up a whole lot of debate about what faith is and what works are. Okay? Very, very important. You see, but if you read James chapter 2, verse 14 through to 18, it's a very practical book, The Apostle James is a very practical guy. So from verse 14 of James chapter 2, he says, "What good is it, my brothers and sisters, if someone says he has faith but does not have works? Can that faith save him? If a brother or sister has nothing to wear and has no food for the day, and one of you says to them, 'Go in peace, keep warm and eat well,' but you do not give them the necessities of the body, what good is it? So also faith of itself, if it does not have works, is dead." Did you hear that? Faith of itself, if it does not have works, is dead. Indeed, someone may say, "You have faith and I have works. Demonstrate your faith to me without works, and I will demonstrate my faith to you from my works." See? So James is really laying it out here. See? It's not an either or kind of thing, but it's a both end. You see? Your works must follow what you say you believe in terms of faith. It's easy to say, "I believe. I have faith in God." Right? But then when it comes to putting that faith in action, that's where the trouble comes. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8 through to 9 has something that it says, "For by grace you have been saved through faith." See? So we've been saved, what? Through faith, by grace. And this is not from you, it is the gift of God. It is not from works, so no one may boast. See? So it's very, very important. Sometimes when people read this text, they say, Paul is saying we are saved only by faith. He doesn't say that. He says, "For by grace you have been saved through faith." So it's not only faith. We speak about sola fide. Only faith. No, it says you've been saved by grace through faith. This is the gift of God. Okay? So for you to be saved, it's not so much through the works you do, but it's the gift of God. It's the grace of God that makes us what? Acceptable to God. That makes us what? If you like, God is able to receive us. Okay. Now this leads us to something very deep in our Catholic Church we call the 7 corporal works of mercy. You have 7 corporal works and 7 spiritual works. When you speak about corporal, means things that have to do with the body. Corpus. Okay, corpus has something to do with the body. So the 7 corporal works of mercy. And Jesus emphasizes this in Matthew chapter 25. You remember the judgment of the nations? "I was hungry and you gave me to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me to drink." So these works of mercy are very important. Feeding the hungry. Okay, giving drink to the thirsty, clothing the naked, okay, visiting those in prison, okay, taking care of the homeless, providing shelter for the homeless, visiting the sick, and burying the dead. Okay, These are very, very important. If you want to provide radical hospitality, it means your actions towards the stranger have to be precisely this. It's not like, oh, I feel for prisoners, and then you're staying in your ivory tower and feeling always for the hungry, feeling for the thirsty, feeling for the naked. It doesn't help anybody. You got to do something. So this is very, very important. And I want to conclude by simply sharing with you in our tradition about, Jeanne Joughin. She was a laywoman in France. She was born October 25th, 1792, and she died August 29th, 1879. You'll be surprised because the sisters she founded, the community, the Little Sisters of the Poor. Okay. This was a laywoman going about her life, her Christian life. And then she found an elderly person who was alone. Nobody would take care of this elderly person. So she moved this elderly person to live with her. Took care of the elderly person. And that sparked a whole ministry. That sparked off this whole congregation called the Little Sisters of the Poor. They are spread all throughout the world. They take care of the elderly who are lonely and need to be cared for. Strangers. Okay, I've visited their community in Australia, in Melbourne. Beautiful sisters and what they do to these elderly people. You have Little Sisters of the Poor in America, of the controversy they went through with the whole Obamacare mandate to provide contraceptives and all that to their employees and all that, and they took it to the Supreme Court. So the Little Sisters of the Poor are a real example of this. Okay, so what's the question I'm going to leave you right now? How do you demonstrate your faith through your actions? How do you demonstrate your faith through your actions? You got to take one or two actions to say, I have faith, but this is how I'm living it, by being radically hospitable. God bless you.